Welcome back to Bet Sports, where in reality, it's the E.T. show every week. I am your host, Ethan Walker, right along with my co host, Travis Xavier. And we got some interesting topics for y'all today. It's going to be a shorter episode. I'm sure all of y'all are glad to hear that, as I know I am since I edit all of these. Thanks, Travis.
Ethan, I think they're glad that they don't have to hear your voice for longer.
And I think they're even more glad that they don't have to see your face.
Probably.
Today's episode's a good one. We've got some news on the fantasy football side of things. Travis, congratulations on your loss last week.
That's harsh.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I beat it. I beat you pretty bad.
Oh, I don't know what to say about that one, but I guess I should have started Drake May.
And I should have
It-
started Patrick Mahomes.
yeah. So how about that? How about let's talk about how you had the chance to rip Jalen Hurts right from me, and all I wanted in return was Joe Burrow and Kyle Williams, who has done nothing for the Patriots. And you declined.
Yes,
So that one
but
probably hurts, doesn't it?
it doesn't, because I was smart in hindsight to go back to back with Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. Back to back rounds. So I still have a pretty good starter. Welcome our
That's a
special guest for the
little
week.
bit. Yep.
There's our retention time. Oh.
There's our attention span of the
Uh
15 seconds.
yeah. But
But
on that
oh,
topic, let's talk about my failed uh fourth round pick, Joe Burrow. Joey Burr will be out into almost the entire fantasy season this year with turf toe. I mean, dear lord.
and then for the people that don't know what turf toe is, you can go to the New Heights podcast, and Jason Kelsey actually gives you his foot as a demonstration.
Yeah, you don't want that. Just stay here on the Bet podcast. Oh gosh.
Oh, don't worry, I can show my
No,
foot.
put your foot
Oh,
down, you weirdo.
if Jason Kelsey did it, I can.
Jason Kelsey has a following of more than I have views on my main YouTube channel. Let's not. So also for today's episode, we have to thank our unofficial sponsor, Mountain Dew. Uh, Unofficial drink of choice for the night. Because I'm out of cherry Pepsi.
And that's all you drink.
You're darn right it is.
Okay,
Yep.
let's get back on topic.
Yeah.
More attention time. More news in this week of quarterbacks being injured. JJ McCarthy goes down last week with a high ankle sprain. He is in a boot, expected to make a quick recovery, anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. Jaden Daniels out with a sprained knee. He will not start. He was questionable going into the week, but Marcus Mariota will get the start against his old team, the Las Vegas Raiders.
One of his many.
It's one of his many former teams.
I feel like I think that they have a good thing to look forward to this week. Uh Washington fans shouldn't be all too worried. You're talking about two teams that I would say both of them aren't happy with how this week looks for them. Raiders, of course, they came into the season on a low note, quite honestly. So they're not quite happy where they want to be. And Washington, of course, without their star quarterback, we'll see if Mariota can keep those weapons hot around him. And if so, I do think that they have a good chance to win this game again and keep the streak going.
Moving on to your next quarterback, Mac Jones will be starting for the second straight week
Mhm.
after a good performance against the New Orleans Saints. Brock Purdy still not able to suit up.
Yeah.
Earlier today, it was a questionable with a very, very, very slim chance of Brock Purdy suiting back up. Mac Jones will get to start against the Arizona Cardinals, and let's see if he can repeat the same performance he had last week. I believe he had close to 300 yards. He did have a fumble, but he made up for the fumble with 3 touchdowns.
Yes. One thing to look out for that game is his top target last week, Jawan Jennings, is as of today was not at practice on Thursday. Was a DNP. Uh, he of course had his issues going into the season with his shoulder. We could see that come back to bite him. I know he was also having hamstring injuries. So we may need to be careful and weary of that, with that being his top target, catching one of his 3 touchdown passes last week.
Moving on. I know we didn't have an episode last week, but
Mhm.
I want to bring this up just because it's hilarious. Jalen Carter was fined and suspended for that game, and he would have been suspended for the Chiefs game if it wasn't for him being ejected after or sorry, him being ejected before the first snap of the game was taken. But Jalen Carter spit on Dak Prescott. I guarantee now that it's been like a week and a half since that game. I guarantee everybody and their mother knows about
Mhm.
that. But going to college football side, a University of Florida player took his own privilege and did his best Jalen Carter impression on a USF player.
Mhm.
He also got ejected. But there's been a couple pushing and shoving. Charger Chiefs. There was that incident with Tart.
Yep.
I know the Giants O lineman this week actually against the Cowboys, he decided to just absolutely pimp slap somebody.
Yep.
Got a penalty. He actually got pulled after getting 4 penalties called on him in one drive.
Yeah. I mean, this year's been really scrappy as far as the penalty play that we've seen come into effect. Uh, of course, retaliation always gets hit harder than the initial contact. Jalen Carter, if you rewatch that video, Dak actually spits first at Carter's foot. So Carter spitting was a retaliation. And of course, he's the one that gets fined, which I can assure you is not the most expensive spit that's ever came up. Let's be honest. Uh, so we
That's
have
such a
that game. Uh, and again, last week you had the Super Bowl rematch of Chiefs and Eagles, in which one of the Chiefs players on the final play heckled Jaw or good old
it wasn't
Hurts,
just it wasn't
saying,
just some
"You didn't
some shit.
get 100 yards," and Jalen Hurts responding with the all-time classic, "Y'all just got beat." He pulled the
And
old
he wasn't that
scoreboard.
he wasn't that nice about it either. And it
No.
wasn't some Chiefs player. The person that said it was the star of that defense, Chris Jones. That's who said it.
I mean, I
But
he
Jalen
didn't win, did he?
Hurts, you don't want to fuel that fire.
No.
Um,
No, he doesn't
you don't
need
want to
another
fuel that
reason.
fire. So you can look at that clip, and Ethan had to keep it PG for the channel, but he
Mhm.
said something a little bit more aggressive than "Hey, y'all just lost."
No.
But moving on, my team, the Patriots, did get their get back against the Dolphins
Yep.
in a very very sloppy game, but is to be expected with Christian Gonzalez being out. Earlier today, Christian Gonzalez was seen at practice.
Mhm.
He is a hopeful active for the upcoming matchup against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, talk about someone who's on the hot seat right now. McDaniels has to be feeling that pressure. after losing now
To
3 in a row.
win games, you can't lose the games.
We don't have enough time for all the stuttering that came after that, uh, quote. So, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I don't think he should be lax right now, and I would say right now he probably has the hottest seat in the NFL with his losses. He's expected to perform. He has a decent team around him. It's just he needs to find what's going wrong and fix it, or he will be out of a job in Miami, quite
So,
honestly.
looking forward into this week's matchups,
Mhm.
you have a good old AFC East matchup between the Texans and the Jags. You have
Yep.
another AFC. Did I say AFC East?
You did. We are in the South, buddy.
AFC South matchup against the Texans and the Jags. Another AFC South against the Titans and Colts. You have the good old wild card matchup against the Eagles and the Rams. You have Bengals and the Vikings, the battle of the backups because J.J. McCarthy and Joe Burrow are both out.
Yep.
You have the good old rivalry of the Cowboys and the Bears. You have two teams looking to get their first wins within the Giants and the Chiefs. And you actually have a really good Monday Night Football game. This is going to be the Lions' first actual test. They're going to have to go and face Baltimore and Lamar Jackson.
You mean their second test?
I I'm going to be honest. I completely forgot they played Green Bay. Um,
They
let's actually talk about that game. Green Bay looks scary.
I mean,
Micah Parsons looks like an absolute unit in that green.
yeah, Green Bay last year was probably one more impactful defensive player away from being at that next level, and then Jerry Jones and his infinite wisdom decided, "Okay, we'll do it," and gives
We'll do
them
it.
freaking Micah Parsons. So, I mean, he has not I know there were a lot of, injury questions when he first got there because of the back problems that they had found through that. Dear Lord, he's making people regret talking about it. He has not stopped
He
from
has
where he
not let
stopped
his foot
left.
off the gas.
He has not, and it is showing. He is creating havoc on that defensive side of the ball for Green Bay. And Jordan Love looks good as ever. I mean, imagine being the Packers and having 3 generational style quarterbacks back to back
The
to back
back to
back without even
so
trying. Mhm,
going off of that, after Detroit goes and loses to Green Bay,
mhm.
people start to question, oh, it's because they don't have Ben Johnson. Oh, they don't have Aaron Glenn. They don't have this. They don't have that. The Lions go and play Chicago, and
Duh,
what
Bears.
does Cam do? Dan Campbell goes for it on every fourth down possible, everything possible, and beats the living crap out of out of the Bears and Ben Johnson.
Duh, Bears.
52-21, a 31-point loss. Hung 50 on them.
Yeah, no, thank you, Amon Ra, for actually
Yeah.
showing up this week.
Uh,
My fantasy
I
pickup
felt
from
that.
this week to last week was very good, thank you.
Yeah, I felt that Amon Raw burn in both leagues that I'm in. And it sucks because I had Jamar Chase and his points basically got canceled out by Amon Ra in my 10 man.
Amon Ra,
Um,
rah, rah, rah.
yep, Amon Ra, the Sun God. The Sun God does burn, and he burns a lot.
Yeah, you had a
I didn't
rough
have my
week in fantasy.
I didn't have my sunscreen on.
No, you did not. Uh, I think another thing to look at And something that really stuck out to me within these first 2 weeks of the NFL season, Indiana Jones, man. What does Indianapolis do to a guy like Daniel Jones to get the production they've had out of him so far?
I don't know. I don't know if it's the system. I don't know if it's the guys around him. But he looks good.
He
Daniel
does.
Jones looks good, and people are like, "Oh, he played Miami." Miami almost just went into Buffalo and beat him.
Yeah, I mean, and one part of
If Tua
controversy.
doesn't throw that pick, they might have a chance to go to overtime.
Yeah, and you have to remember that was like a really decisive move Indiana's front office made at the beginning of this season to start Daniel Jones in front of their second year player, uh basically second year player in Anthony Richardson. I mean, it takes some move to do that. And my focus is gone again. This is
Oh, your focus has been gone,
oh
but we're gonna have to keep rolling.
man, this is bad. Like this is really bad. Hold on. Let me properties
Well,
configure.
while Ethan's fixing his focus, I'll go on to college football. We have some good matchups. We have Texas Tech, Utah. We, of course, have Ethan's favorite team, Tennessee, playing UAB. That'll be another dominant performance by Tennessee. After losing to Georgia off a heartbreak loss,
Right.
Tennessee had the game in the palm of their hands, and the 19-year-old kicker goes out. And I don't blame him. But you could have moved that upright 10 yards to the right, and he would still miss. It was a hard kick. I'm not saying I could go out there and make that kick. So I'm praying for the kid. I know there's some ruthless fans that are probably messaging him some very, very bad things. But I feel like he's going to get into the field. I feel like he's going to work on it. And I feel like he's going to be ready for the next opportunity that comes.
Yeah, watching that game was hard. I mean, anytime you go up by 2, 3 scores, you're expecting to win that game. Uh, I thought Kirby Smart's words after the game were really classy. I mean, he knew that he shouldn't have won that game. So it was really cool to see him acknowledge that, even if they did come out a win, and he wasn't too cocky about it. I feel like that Georgia team again is the team to beat in the SEC, especially with Texas not looking as unbeatable as we thought they'd be entering the season. I think it could be a really good season for the Bulldogs yet again. And the Volunteers still have a lot to look forward to. I mean, we played Georgia to the closest we've played them in years at this point. Almost 10 years it's been now since we've beat them. So, it's gonna be interesting. The kicker, of course, he'll be fine. I do think one thing that needs to be talked about since we're moving on to, NCAA is UCLA's head coach gets fired after starting 0-3. The question now becomes, does Nico Iamaleava leave? Like, w
Because with transfer portal rules, if a head coach is fired within the first 30 days,
mhm.
first year players have the option of transferring.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what would happen, but one of the programs that has been linked, if he does leave, is none other than Vanderbilt.
Here's
Could
the thing:
you
is
imagine that?
I see that too, but with the hot streak that they are on, with how they just manhandled South Carolina, how do you bench Diego Pavia? You
Well,
can't. There's no way you can.
they wouldn't have to. With the rules as they are now, as long as Nico didn't start another game this season, he would gain another red shirt.
Right. Okay. Yes, you're right.
So, but Diego is fighting for a 7th year of eligibility, which would be insane. And if he gets
Speaking
it,
of
I think we could see a Vanderbilt national championship run if he gets another year in this system.
Speaking of Pavia, good old Theo Vaughn was there.
I don't know if he ever got
And
that date.
I don't know. Because it was Pavia wanted a date with somebody else. Theo messaged whoever it was on Instagram. But if those who don't know who what we're talking about is Theo Vaughn, Pavia made a promise to him is if they beat South Carolina, Theo Vaughn could take his mother on a date. Um, has that happened? We don't know, but it would be very funny if it did. But
It
moving
would.
on, we have Indiana and Illinois, a top 20 team going against a top 10 team. We have a new top 10 team and a shocker of Florida State after going 2-10. They're your number 7 team in the country.
Mhm.
Tennessee dropped back down to 15.
I
The
think that's a
Bulldogs.
stay. At least in one of the
I thought
polls,
they
it was
were
a
at,
stay.
okay. It looks like the Bulldogs are on a bye.
Yeah.
Um, USC is 25, Texas is 8, LSU is 3, Vanderbilt jumps to 20, Miami is going to play Florida, the Battle of Florida. Miami is number 4, Florida is unranked, rightfully so.
Yep.
South Carolina, after losing to Vanderbilt, goes all the way down to unranked.
Yeah, I mean, that's not just a loss. That was belt to rear end. I mean, like I said, we could be living in the weirdest timeline where
If
Vanderbilt
I see
actually gets into
Vanderbilt
the
in a
playoffs.
national championship, especially with this 12-team playoff, if they keep performing how they are, they're 100% making the playoffs.
Yeah.
But if I see Vanderbilt and Diego,
Diego, buddy.
Diego,
Diego.
sorry, it's late. I had a long shift at work. Diego Pavia, if I see them in the national championship and then they somehow pull it off, I would lose my mind.
I mean, to put it in perspective, we could be looking at a week 13 or a week 12 that sees the Tennessee Volunteers and the Vanderbilt Commodores fighting for a playoff spot. And
You're really good.
that's not a far stretch at all. I mean, let's think of it. Georgia has to play Alabama at Alabama this year. That can be a win. That very certainly could be a win for them with how Alabama's been playing. They've looked good against non-SEC teams, except for the first game of the season where they go out and get beat. And I can tell you one thing, Vanderbilt's a whole lot better than the team that beat them out of nowhere. On top of that, they played Tennessee in Neyland, which that's going to be a hard game, but they're going to steamroll almost every other team they play. Their biggest fight's going to be Alabama, Tennessee, and Texas. And I think they can win at least one of those games. And that would put them at 10-2 on the season. A 10-2 Vanderbilt team.
That would be weird.
It would be. Now, I will say they have to get past this week with Georgia State, with the team that beat them last year heartbreakingly. They have to get past that hurdle. But if they do, watch for that Vanderbilt Commodore team. It is surprisingly scary to watch them play football. Sorry about that weird cut you probably just noticed. Travis started saying things that he cannot legally be saying. So, for the sake of himself and this podcast going forward, we're going to start to wrap it up. Travis, I know you don't watch it as much, but the round of 12 of the NASCAR playoffs starts this week. You got some big names like Denny Hamlin still in the hunt. Hendrick Motorsports, a dominant figure in the sport, lost one of their drivers in the round of 16. Alex Bowman of the 48. So they're down to 3 drivers. It could be a show, but Team Penske keeps all 3 of theirs in their hunt to get their 4th straight championship in a row. They're at New Hampshire this week, so it's a good race, 300 miles. Go give it a watch if you'd want to on a Saturday. They start at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I got one of the Penske cars winning. It's a short flat oval, so they're normally good there. Travis probably has his boy Denny Hamlin lined up to win that one. Which honestly, with Denny's father's health going down, I wouldn't mind seeing him win a championship before his dad goes. Cause little fun piece of lore: Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan, yes, that Michael Jordan, own a racing team together, 2311, in which Michael
I do.
Jordan gave Denny Hamlin's father a cigar in a lockbox with the words said, "For when we win a championship." And I sincerely hope that we
I'm
get to see
hoping
that
that. Yeah,
broken.
I'm hoping that it's this year.
Yeah. And Denny Hamlin has all but confirmed he has 2 years left in the Cup Series. That's it. He signed his last contract with Joe Gibbs Racing about 3 weeks ago now. Of course, him and NASCAR are legally in a fight right now. That court case set for December 9th. Uh, it could shape up a lot of things, but if Denny Hamlin can go ahead and get this championship, I think it'll be well worth it for him. Any other sports you'd like to bring up before we close out tonight?
I think that would be it. Just keep an eye out on some interesting matchups this week,
Mhm.
and we should be filming next episode sometime next week.
Yes, watch out for the live episode. It might come at some point. uh with that also being said, don't forget October baseball's coming up. We got some good teams finally making their way into the playoffs. Philadelphia wraps up their division and is fighting for the number 1 seed against the Brewers. That should be a good fight till the end. They beat the Diamondbacks tonight again. Uh, Milwaukee's already guaranteed a spot. It's looking to be a good postseason. Cubs reached their first postseason since their World Series win. So it's shaping up to be a good October for sports fans. You got
Speaking
all of them.
of speaking of Major League Baseball, I didn't know we were going to bring up some baseball, but a longtime veteran Clayton Kershaw announces that he will be retiring after this season.
Yep.
Um, as a Red Sox fan, thank God. That man haunted my team for nearly 2 decades.
Oh yeah.
Thank God he is gone. He is a force to be reckoned with. I want to congratulate Clayton Kershaw on his career. He actually just had his last regular season start and he actually got the win. So good
Mhm.
for him. One heck of a career for Kershaw. And hopefully, maybe somehow he makes it in the broadcasting booth, or he does some on field analyst work.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he becomes a pitching coach for some university. I mean that
Yeah, I could see that as well.
I mean, to speak on this matter, I mean, the Dodgers right now have a generational bullpen as well as a starting rotation. I mean, heck, you got Kershaw right now. You have Otani right now. These are some people that'll go out and win you ball games any day of the week.
I'm
So,
gonna add one thing.
yep.
The Red Sox have a 82.8% chance to make the playoffs now. The Atlanta Braves 28.1. Red Sox are better, baby. We're back. Crown us. World Series.
Wait,
Give
wait,
it.
wait, wait. What's the Braves'
What?
chance?
28.1.
Yesterday, the Braves' chance to make the playoffs was less than 1%.
According to
Hold on.
um,
If sorry to extend the
according to
episode on you.
Fangraphs, according to Fangraphs, they have a 28.1%. However, FanDuel suggests that they have over an 80% chance that they will not make it to October.
I mean, I gotta look at this. What's MLB or what's their chance on? Yeah, according to ESPN, they're looking at a less than 1%. The Mets
What's
have fallen off.
what's the Red Sox on ESPN?
Sox of the Red, 86. They got a chance.
Yeah, it's higher. We're going to the World Series.
And don't get that crazy.
Dodgers can't stop us. Nobody can stop the Red Sox. We're gonna stick it to Mookie Betts. We're sticking it to Freddie Freeman. We're sticking it to everybody in LA.
I will say this year the AL versus NL as far as playoff teams goes is really tight. Currently only 3 teams in the National League have clinched, that being the Phillies, the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Cubs as stated earlier. But if you look over at the NL side, there's no one guaranteed a spot right now. It is a fight in every division for every last wild card spot. And we're going to have a last 10 week or 10 games of the season. Well, guys, I believe that will do it for the Bet Podcast episode 3, late again. Any closing remarks, co-host?
I do not. Other than so far, I don't have to drive to Cleveland to deliver any roses because Shador Sanders is still on the bench. And I don't have to go to Nissan because Cam Ward sucks.
He's already thrown a touchdown pass, buddy. And this is great.
I said multi touchdown games.
They're coming. I predict we get one this week. And that will do it for the Bet Podcast episode 3, late again. Thank you all for coming out, and hopefully next week is not late again. Or I will name it late again.
Late again.
Late again. And with that, we say good night and late again.